Greystones live on Garden County Radio. John Power here with you from the walled garden of the Beach House. We're here with the Boatyard Market and the Boatyard Gallery and our friends Grape, the Greystones Art and Photography Exhibition in full swing across in the marina. Connor's with me. Connor has a very interesting product, and today he's here selling that product. You tell the story. So what do you do? And tell us about your stall at the market here today.
Okay, so today's actually our first day to come down to the Boatyard Market with Keffi. So we make a slightly unusual ice cream product range. So it's known as Keffi, and it's actually a health food as well as an ice cream, which is kind of an unusual one.
Well, that's great. So what are the ingredients, or what makes it special or unique or healthy?
Yeah, okay, so the main ingredient of Keffi is kefir, K-E-F-I-R, which is a Middle Eastern word, and it's technically a dairy ferment, so it's similar to live yogurt, but it'd be by a long way the most probiotic food in the world. So it turns out that actually one spoon of our ice cream would be more powerfully probiotic than, say, a supplement they sell in the chemist. So it's actually really helpful for you from that side. And then there are a lot of other special properties. We don't use any sugar. We just sweeten it with grape juice, so even diabetics could have it, or people who are watching their weight could have it. It'd be the lowest calorie, lowest sugar ice cream out there. And actually, in the recommended serving, you'd be getting more calories in a piece of fruit. So an orange would be more fattening.
That's all great, but the real fun part, apart from the fact that it's actually naturally sweetened with grape juice, the real fun part today is they've actually got an old ice cream van which they've converted over for use. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I suppose we whenever we decided to do this sort of as a PR gimmick in a way, we just thought a lot of the mobile catering that we've seen, certainly when I grew up many years ago, was maybe on the very unhealthy end of things. So we might associate maybe some of the mobile vans with like the not so healthy ice cream and the not so healthy syrup and sprinkles and the not so healthy chips and burgers. So mobile catering has tended to be on the less healthy end of food.
So Connor here is Connor is healthy and fun at the same time.
I hope so. I also, by the way, work as a clinical nutritionist. So the inspiration for this ice cream came from that. So I do a lot of work with, say, kids on the autism spectrum. Characteristic of those children would be that they'd have what's called dysbiosis, fancy name for bad bugs in the gut, often yeasty things in the gut, and this kefir stuff will really help that. But a lot of those kids wouldn't have enjoyed the soury yogurt in its natural taste.
And to take up the point more seriously, the effect of diet and nutrition on mental health and well-being. Would you have any comment on that?
Oh, briefly, I mean, in fact, our business legally is known as Fermental, which is a pun on that fermented mental health connection. And again, in my nutritional therapy work, I'd be quite au fait with that. So maybe keep it very brief, but you can do an analysis nowadays, a DNA sequence of people's guts, the flora, stool sample thing. And you can, in some cases, find little nasty Candida, Clostridia, little bugs that shouldn't be there that have been identified. It's very early research, but they are associated with basically mental health problems. And you can deal with those. So if you find the particular one, you can actually take a very specific treatment. And there is certainly a connection and more work on that.
So the old phrase rings true. You are what you eat.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there's more and more science behind
So
discovering that's exactly
we're here until 4 o'clock today. You got to drop down and check out the ice cream van. We're going to stick a picture of that on our Facebook page and drop down, meet Connor and the rest of the guys here selling their delicious ice cream. Is it available in different flavours?
Oh yeah, we've a bunch of flavours, and we sell it in a lot of retail outlets as well. Places like Super Value up in Greystones, and Super Values, in fact, all over the country now are doing it. So it's not too hard to find now.
Great. Thanks for dropping by Greystones Live on Garden County Radio.
Thanks, John.